Vani Pracharini Nirvisesa Samyavadi Pastata Desatari. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Jana Tashmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Hyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Tapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sakadatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Paran Sahaguna Lolita Sri Visakan Vitam Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavana Sute Devi Pranavami Hari Priya Vanchakal Pataru Yasya Kripa Sandhivyaye Vacha Patitanam Pavanavyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Kantara Sriman Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Guru Parampara Ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. We are very, very happy to be with all of you this wonderful day and the most auspicious time of Damodara Mass. And also we have this wonderful topic. Guru, by his unconditional love, gives us a glimpse of love in the spiritual world. This is very, very interesting topic, very powerful and wonderful. And it is our fortune that we have to speak on this exalted topic. It is meant for self-realized souls to share. But because of service, I have to do this. Otherwise, when I look at the topic, I was feeling doubtful whether I should speak on this or not. But because I consider this as a service, so I will sit here under the costless mercy of my spiritual master and our chariots. He will say something about this topic. This is the whole thing about a life of a devotee, that we have to experience what is beyond us by the mercy of the spiritual master. In another way, it shows us the wonderful experience or the full condition a devotee should have in Christian consciousness. Because it will look like we are just philosophically minded people and we don't go beyond the philosophy, or there is nothing more than that. For most people, it is like a story. But with this kind of topic to help us understand what is really happening and what should be the experience of devotees, so that if we are not having it, we can know that we're missing something which is available, not that it's not available, but something which is available. But we are depriving ourselves of this fortune. We are denying ourselves of this fortune. So we can have the interest to make an attempt. So the first example we are looking at is The experience Srila Jiva Goswami had with Lord Nityananda Prabhu. In the passage of Srila Jiva Goswami doing Navadvip Mandala Parikram with Lord Nityananda, who gives him the glimpse of the spiritual world. Lord Nityananda Prabhu showed Srila Jiva Goswami that Krishna consciousness is practical. So this is a quotation from Navadvip Dham Mahatmya of Srila Bhakti Thakur. Navadvip Dham Mahatmya. Yadna Kari Prabhutari Nikate Basaya Arojoda Koriji Swadainya Janaya Jiva Bale Prabhu Mora Karuna Kariya Navadvipa Dhammata Bale Vibhaziya. With care, Sri Nityananda Prabhu seated Jiva Goswami next to him. Sri Jiva Goswami folded his hands and humbly said, "O Lord, please be merciful and describe in detail the true nature of Sri Navadvip Dham." Bhagya Kame Sadhu Sange Primera Udaya Haya Jabe Tabeta Kibai Chinmaya Aprakrita Dase Kala Dhamma Dravya Jata Anayase Deke Swiya Chakshe Avirata. When, by good fortune, through the association of saintly persons, Prema appears in the Jiva, he will see Sri Navadvip Dham as a manifest transcendental Vaikuntha Loka. Then he will always see with his own eyes all the transcendental components of the Dham, such as the land and time. When by good fortune, through the association of saintly persons, Prema appears in a Jiva, he will see Sri Navadvip Dham as what? A manifest transcendental Vaikuntha Loka. Then he will always see with his own eyes all the transcendental components of the Dham, such as the land and time. It means that we don't have eye to see what is happening. But when the mercy of a pure devotee descends on us, we will see something different from what we see now. There is a description of Navadvip Dham. There is a description. It's a description of Navadvip Dham and Vrindavan. What is really there that we are not presently seeing? Something wonderful. I want to see if I get it quickly and share it. So when we have this understanding, at least this knowledge should be there, that we should have this. First, this should be there. Then we can start to meditate. And from that meditation, the reality, the truth will come. Before hearing or remembering the transcendental persons of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, One should meditate upon the beautiful abode of the Lord and one's own spiritual form as an eternal friend and a servant of Lord Chaitanya. According to the deity worship book, pujaris worshipping God and the Thai must regularly do this. Similarly, pujaris worshipping Radha and Krishna must meditate on Vrindavan before commencing their puja. The following shastric quotation provide an ideal meditation to fix the mind on Navadvip Dham before relishing Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Sri Navadvip Dham lies on the southern bank of the beautiful Ganga. It rises gradually from the plains like the shape of a turtle's back, and it is covered with delightful garden groves. The soil of this holy land is a radiant golden color. Now we don't see this when we are in Navadvip, when we are like in Vrindavan. We don't see that the land is what? The soil is golden in color. Beautiful blossoming trees and creepers full of fruits and fragrant flowers adorn the banks of the Ganga or the Jamuna. The bank of Jamuna, the bank of Ganga has what? Beautiful, fragrant fruit trees. These transcendental trees display the extraordinary spiritual opulence of Navadvip Dham. Some trees have trunks made of emeralds. Branches of gold. We should begin entering into these mysteries in this way, that whenever we are in Vrindavan, we are in Navadvip, we should have this in our mind and constantly start thinking like this, feeling like this. And for those of us who are doing deity worship every day, we should also begin it this way. We are entering into the dam. The deity is where? The Lord is where? The Lord is in the holy dam. And this is the place where they are residing. And we are there with them, taking care of them. This would be our concentration. Some trees have trunks made of emeralds, branches of gold, leaves of sapphires and rubies, buds of coral, diamond flowers, and cat's eye fruits. These describable Kalpa Vriksha trees are eternally self-fulgent. Groups of multicolored birds full of prema make sweet sounds that enchant the ears and heart of everyone. And gentle breeze arising from the Ganga provide a cool, soothing atmosphere. Groups of black bees happily fly about the red, white, blue, and yellow lotus flowers. Swans, cranes, and other birds sport in the water. The bathing gutters are made of precious gems. Ganga Devi have waters purified and grayish in color from the loss of Goranga lotus feet, exhibit various ecstasies due to contact with the Lord. So this is the meditation. In the meditation, all of us should have. So when we are taking bath in Ganga or in Jamuna, or we are in Vrindavan, we are in Navadvip, this should be the picture occupying our consciousness. This is the beginning. We should begin thinking like this. Then we will draw the attention of the spiritual master who is going to lead us further into these mysteries. Like 𝐶𝐤𝐺𝐠 Goswami having this experience by the causeless mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda Prabhu, revealing the Dham, revealing the spiritual world by the causeless mercy. Lord Nityananda Prabhu revealed to Jiva Goswami that he was able to see. Actually, Jiva Goswami, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, this is their permanent vision. But because they want to teach us, they have to make it external so we can learn. In the same way, we have the same verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, chapter 23, text number 7. Devahuti's Lamentation, Canto 3, chapter 23, text 7. Kadamamuni continued, I have achieved the blessings of the Lord in discharging my own religious life of austerity. Meditation and Krishna consciousness. Although you have not yet experienced this achievement, which are free from fear and lamentation, Kardamamuni has achieved it. But his wife have not done that yet because he didn't do the meditation. Sorry, his mother. This is the Devahutri lamentation. Kadamamuni is speaking to his wife, Devahuti. Yes, he's speaking to his wife, Devahuti. I have achieved this Krishna consciousness through meditation. Krishna was so pleased with the Kadamamuni and highly appreciated the level of his devotion that Krishna shed tears of appreciation for him. And that tears of Krishna formed the lake called Bindu Sarava. It is so beautiful, so auspicious that sages met that place their own abode. So Kadamamuni is speaking. I have done this, but you have not had this experience yet. She was sharing her husband's achievement. Sorry. Although you have not yet experienced this achievement, the which are free from fear and lamentation, I shall offer them all to you because you are engaged in my service. Devahuti attained to the experience the husband is having because she is supporting her husband in his Krishna consciousness. That is why a woman is called the better half of the man, because the woman supports the husband in his practice. So if a woman does not support her husband, she is not a better half. She is a source of distraction, and she will never get the blessing that the husband will achieve because she didn't support the husband to achieve success in Christian consciousness. Just as if a disciple does not follow the spiritual master's instruction carefully, sincerely, he does not support, or he or she does not support the spiritual master in his service to the spiritual master, that devotee will not have the experience the spiritual master is having. So it is mentioned here, I shall offer them all to you because you are engaged in my service. Now just look at them. I'm giving you a transcendental vision to see how nice they are. So our qualification is devotional service. And what is devotional service? It is called devotional service because there is no personal motivation. There is no ulterior motive. If there is an ulterior motive, it is no more devotional service. It is service but not devotional service. And it will not attract the costless mercy of the spiritual master to reveal to us the pure love of Godhead or the experience he is having from his own transcendental position or his own transcendental service to his own spiritual master, ultimately to the supreme personality of God. So Prabhupada just mentioned it before. Devahuti engaged only in the service of the Muni, only in the service of the Muni. She was not supposed to be so advanced in austerity, ecstasy, meditation, or Krishna consciousness, but imperceptibly she was sharing her husband's achievement, which she could neither see or experience. Automatically, she achieved these graces of the Lord by the mercy of her husband. And how did she get the mercy of the husband? By pure devotional service she rendered to the husband. Papa said here, she rendered service only to her husband. So when a disciple renders service to the spiritual master without strings attached, it will attract the costless mercy of the spiritual master upon us. We have mentioned many times that all of us should try to tune into the channels of our chariots. We should tune into the channels of our chariots. Why? If you just like in Master, if you tune to YouTube channel to whatever channels is there, if you tune in there, whatever is happening in that station, we will get it. If you tune to any radio station, you get whatever is happening there. In the same way, if you tune into our chariots channel, we will experience what is going on in that child's life. That is why the scripture recommends that if you think of pure devotees, you will get their qualities, you will develop their qualities. But that should be favorable. You should think of pure devotees. You should remember pure devotees favorably. By thinking we are with them. That is connection, that is association. By thinking about them, by hearing about them, and by serving them, we are connected. And that connection will help us to experience whatever they are experiencing in their Christian life. Just like if you connect, you tune into any station, any channel, or you connect a wire to the powerhouse, the current will flow to your house. We may have a powerful gadget, electronics, or equipment in our building and our houses. We have everything. We may furnish the house, put everything there. And you can connect it with the powerful how do you call it? Apparatus and accessories. If it is not connected to the powerhouse, they have no value. Meaning that we can be powerful devotees, but if we are not connected with a spiritual master in loving devotional service, we are useless. We are what they call asara. Asara means useless. Asara means useless. Useless means we have no connection with the spiritual master, with the chariots. Continuing on this line, on this point, we have Yasha Devi Para Bhakti Jata Devi Tata Guru Tasaite Katitahi Artha Prakasante Hadmana. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of the Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. revealed. And having faith in the spiritual master, having faith in Krishna means what? We are connected. We believe everything they are doing, and we accept everything they are doing. The fact that we have accepted means that we follow them completely, and because we follow them, follow me, we are thinking about them, we are remembering them, we respect their instructions by carrying them out. So with this connection, the scripture will be revealed, not just by study, it will be revealed. In the same way, in Padma Puran, Sanatana Goswami quoted in his book, Adi Bhakti Vilas. Bhakti Jata Haru Mesti Tadon Lista Guru Yadi Amasti Tena Satyena Swam Darasayatu Mehari. If my devotion to my Guru is even stronger than my devotion for Sri Krishna, then may this fact cause Sri Krishna to reveal himself to me. If my devotion to my Guru is even stronger than my devotion for Sri Krishna, then may this fact cause Sri Krishna to reveal himself to me. Meaning, that our spiritual master is our all and all. That is our position. That is the position of the spiritual master, the pure devotee of Krishna. He is my intelligence, is my mind, is my senses, is my everything. So, Padma Purana said, when a devotee is on this platform, so Krishna will surely reveal himself to us. In 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna himself confirms that. Mad Bhakta Puja Abhyadika. The worship of my spirit, of my devotee, the worship of my pure devotees is superior to my own worship. Krishna confirmed that. Mad Bhakta Puja Abhyadika. One who worships my pure devotee has all the guarantee that he will get me. But one who worships me alone without my pure devotees has 100% doubt that the person will get me. The person will never get me. But if one serves my spiritual, my representative, the bona fide spiritual, it is sure and certain that that person will get me. So Padma Purana is confirming that here. If my devotion to my Guru is even stronger than my devotion for Sri Krishna, then may this fact cause Sri Krishna to reveal himself to me. So every day, Srinatham Dachakoda taught us this prayer which we sing every day. Chakshudan, 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐿, Janme, Prabhu said, Dibyajan Hridde Prokasita, Preme Bhakti Jaha Hoite Abhidya Tisana Jati. The spiritual master is what? Our eternal master, birth after birth, life after life. Many people will have a serious debate on this. Chakshudan, 𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐝𝐿, and Janme, Prabhu say, many devotees will have serious debate on this. What is the use of that? What is the use? So the Prophet said the gopis, they simply loved Krishna. They didn't care who Krishna is. They simply loved him. That is all. We simply follow what our chariots are giving to us. And our Christian consciousness movement is so powerful, so pure, that we are not alone. We are not alone. We have so many pure devotees in our system, in our tradition, that if we are sincerely and seriously situated in this process, our success is guaranteed. So what is the issue of speculation? To examine who is that question master? Who is that? We can speculate, but the solution is most important. If we don't have solution, what is the value of the debate? So there are so many other points to add to what we are having, and it shows that when we connect to the spiritual master and serve him very nicely, when we establish a cordial relationship. This is not a whimsical thing. Cordial relationship with this person, not a whimsical thing, and it's not done by a third-class disciple or even second-class disciple. It is done by a first-class disciple. There is always a transmission, always a flow of transmission. Just like it's to give a material experience, just to give a material experience, so we can identify with it completely. If you travel with a king, what will happen to you? You are not a king. You are not a king, but if you travel with a king, what will happen to you? You will enjoy all the honor given to the king. You will enjoy all the honor. You will enjoy the prestige of the king. You will enjoy the king's opulence. You're going to ride in the same car with him. You're going to live in the same house with him. You're going to eat the same food with him. You're going to get the same prestige like him. So what about spiritual? What about spiritual? All the honor which is given to the king will be given to you. I have a practical experience. I have one friend, he's a politician. So he told me one day, very interesting. So he told me one day, so do you know? You will never know until you taste it. Materialistic people said, he who feels it knows it. That is material. But spiritual people knows it, even without having the physical experience, they knows it. But materially, we have to feel it before we know it. He who feels it knows it. So my friend, he told me that he has a friend who is in the position in the government. He's a minister for one department. So one day, the friend called him and told him that he has an appointment somewhere, but there's an urgent need for some issue that he has to attend to. And that place is very important because he has given them the word that he's coming. So they are expecting him there. But he will not be able to go there. So he asked this, my friend, that I should go in his stead. He should go for him. While he's attending to other pressing issues at home, he should go and represent him there. And for him to go means the minister's car was given to him. The entourage was given to him. As soon as the friend pronounced this, that he should go, before he stood up, the door of his friend's house was already open. That's the first thing for him. Hey, prestige. Before he entered into the car, the door of the car was already open. As he sits there, boom, 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 the driver, boom, and there's no traffic. So he went to the appointment. When he got there, everybody stood up to welcome him. All the prestige, all the honor meant for his friend were all given to him because he representing the ministry. He got everything and he delivered the message the friend gave to him. While he was doing all these things and took his seat, then the reality, the reality came upon him. So he started thinking, these few hours, I'm in this position, became such an intoxication that he was praying for his friend to die so he can remain in that position. He was praying, let me just remain here. My friend should die. Unfortunately, the friend didn't die, so he has to return everything back to his friend, and he became ordinary person. This is just materially speaking. So when we travel with the king, with a responsible person, we will enjoy all the facilities meant for that. Similarly, if you associate with a pure devotee, we will experience what the pure devotee is having as his own experience. In Krishna consciousness, in the life of pure devotee, they are free from fear. That is the first sign, they're free from fear, because they are not afraid of falling down. They are fixed in their Krishna. So we saw the same thing with Lord Brahma in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 9, second canto Bhagavatam, chapter 9. Text 9. The personality of Godhead, being was very much satisfied with the penance of the Brahman, was pleased to manifest his personal abode by Kunta, the supreme planet above all others. This transcendental abode with the Lord is adored by all self-realized persons, freed from all kinds of miseries and fear of illusory existence. The same word, fear. It's mentioned here. While in the material world, Lord Krishna revealed the spiritual world, the Vaikuntha, to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma was seeing the Vaikuntha before him. He is not in Vaikuntha. He was seeing everything in Vaikuntha. Why? Because of the costless mercy of Lord Krishna. Lord Brahma was very pleased with the costless mercy he received from the Supreme Lord. And in Bhagavad Gita also we see the same thing, the same experience between Srila Vyasadeva and his disciple Sanjaya. In 1875, Lord Krishna said, Vyasapada prasadat shurutavan etad guhyamaham paran yugam yogeshwara krishnat sakshat katayata swayam. By the mercy of Vyasadeva, I have had these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. So Prabhupada said, Vyas was the spiritual master of Sanjaya, and Sanjaya admitted that it was by Vyas' mercy that he could understand the supreme personality of Godhead. This means that one has to understand Krishna not directly, but through the medium of the spiritual master. The spiritual master is a transcendental medium. Through it is, although it is true that the experience is still direct. This is the system of the disciplic succession. When the spiritual master is bona fide, then one can hear Bhagavad Gita directly, as Arjuna has it. Actually, there is no difference between hearing directly from Krishna and hearing directly from Krishna via a bona fide spiritual master like Vyasa. A spiritual master is a representative of Vyasadeva also. Therefore, according to the Vedic system, on the birthday of the spiritual master, the disciples condone a ceremony called Vyasa Puja. So, because Sanjaya tuned into the station of Vyasadeva, because he has the mercy of Vyasadeva. What Vyasadeva was seeing, Sanjaya was also seeing the same thing. It appears that Sanjaya also, by the grace of Vyas, could see the universal form that Krishna exhibited to Arjuna. It is, of course, said that Lord Krishna had never exhibited such a form before. It was exhibited to Arjuna only, yet some great devotees could also see the universal form of Krishna when it was shown to Arjuna, and Vyas was one of them. He is one of the great devotees of the Lord, and he is considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna. Vyas disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjuna and enjoyed it repeatedly. So the spiritual master can show us the spiritual world. And right from here, we can see what is happening. So what is required is what? The connection we need to make. And if the connection is made, we will have the same experience. And that is why it is recommended to associate with sadhus. Because associating with sadhus means what? We have a complete faith in the sadhu. And with that faith, we listen and hear attentively. Whatever I say, we take it seriously to the heart and follows it. And we should also chant with them. While chanting, we should watch them. It is by doing that the mercy will come, that they will connect with them and experience what is happening. And that is how also we get empowered, we get energized. When the energy flows through us, we will not be again part of this material world. We will be on the transcendental level. And that is Christian consciousness. So as these devotees, pure devotees experience, like Jiva Goswami got the mercy of non-eternal Prabhu. The Devahuti got the mercy of Kadamamuni. Sanjaya got the mercy of Vyasadeva. Narada Muni got the mercy of the Bhaktivedanta. Narada Muni confesses in Bhagavatam, the nature of the Bhaktivedanta became attractive to me. This is confession. What is the nature of the Bhaktivedantas? They are constantly Christian conscious, and they talk about Christian constantly, continuously. So Narada Muni is saying that their nature, their Christian consciousness became my own experience because he was connected with them. And Srila Prabhupada said that the Muni became contacted by the disease of the pure devotee, the sadhu. What is that disease? Pure Krishna consciousness. Pure Krishna consciousness. The Muni confessed. And in the purpose, the Prabhupada mentioned that after initiation, there should be a change in the life of the devotee. After initiation, there should be a change. There should be a difference. We should experience that. If we don't experience, means that we are not making the necessary connection. So we should take this very seriously and apply the process. Yesterday, because his disciple Sanjaya was connected with him, he was able to see what yesterday was seeing. That the Muni, he was able to experience what the Bhaktivedanta was experiencing because of his connection with them. And Narada Muni gave his qualification. Narada Muni narrated his own qualifications in Bhagavad. I was not childish playing football and cricket like children used to do. I was not frivolous. I was very submissive, very faithful. I accepted them fully at the source of my existence, purification. Therefore, I gave them my full attention. I have faith in them. And because of that, their nature became attractive to Narada Muni. And the result was that Narada Muni immediately, his disciple yesterday asked him, what did you do after this? What is the proof that one has gotten Krishna consciousness? Narada Muni said, the proof that I got the mercy of this Bhaktivedanta, now I have the seed of Krishna planted in my hand. I went on pilgrimage to, I searched for a suitable place for me to perform my austerity. I continued my devotional service, which was implanted in me. Because the sages were considering, when they were living, the sages, they gathered together and they asked themselves, so this boy has been with us for 4 months now. He had done some service. What should we do for him? You see? So what should we do for him? For the services he has rendered. They were hoping God the mercy of her husband because the services she rendered. So the Bhaktivedantas asked themselves, we cannot leave him alone because he did some service for us. So what should we do as a blessing for him, as a token of appreciation for what he had done? They decided to give him 𝐒𝐰𝐴𝐺𝐻. They gave her the money. Yes, transcendental realization, transcendental Krishna concept. The effect was that he didn't go to look for material professions. He didn't go to look for any way to maintain his existence. He left and there was nothing left in him. The fire of Bhakti was burning in him. Immediately he went and continued the practice, passed through so much thin and thick, and he succeeded in getting Krishna. That is the result. So it is very important that we should seek for the mercy of the Lord. We should work for that. And the process is through unalloyed devotional service. It is through service, selfless service. In proper mention, our attitude should be like a menial servant. We should serve like a menial servant without false prestige. And that will invoke the mercy. It will invoke the mercy of Lord Krishna upon the disciple who is so fortunate to be in this mood. And especially this month, the Kartik. What is that? That's Yashoda Mai would determine to cause Lord Krishna to perform the pastime which is nectar for the whole world, for all living entities. She was bent on that, establishing the system for devotee to meditate on Krishna and become purified. Even when she was advised, give up this business, since money you have been trying to bind your son and you have not succeeded. See, you have emptied your house of all the robes. Even in Holy Vrindavan, we have given you all the robes, and still you're not succeeding in tying up your son. Give it up. Mother Shoda said, no, I will never give it up. I will take it to the end. And Lord Krishna smiled. You have served the Lord. You have served me so nicely. You are bent on doing your service. And he didn't consider any difficulty that involved. He didn't consider that. You only bent on doing that which is to please me. The same thing Lord Krishna told the Lord Brahma. You perform austerities just to satisfy me. For that reason, I give you everything you need to know about me. The mercy came. We make a concentrated, a concerted effort. The mercy will come. And when the mercy comes, that is called fortune. When the good fortune arrives, everything will become auspicious. Auspiciousness will smile with us. Auspiciousness will smile with us. Smiling with us means the mercy of Krishna descends. The mercy of Krishna will smile with us. When the mercy smiles with us, we have no problem. Everything is complete. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, in the beginning, you mentioned that when mercy descends upon the disciple, then everything is revealed. The spiritual world is revealed to the disciple. And then a few points that you mentioned, you spoke about how the mercy will descend. You said that the disciple should be very focused on the instruction of the spiritual master. He should do his service without any motivation, and he should have full faith in the spiritual master. Besides that, is there any other things that we need to, so that we can attract the mercy of the pure devotee?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna, I'm back.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry for the disconnection, Guru Maharaj.
Nice one. So, yes, go ahead.
So, in the beginning, you mentioned that when the mercy of the spiritual master or the pure devotee descends upon the disciple or on the devotee, then he's able to have a full vision of the spiritual world. Everything is revealed to him. And
Yes.
to have that mercy, you mentioned that the devotee or the disciples follow the instruction of the spiritual master with full faith, and he should render service without any motivation. And also, he should be connected in the channel with the spiritual master. or the saintly person. So besides these things, is there any other things that we require so that we can attract that mercy, Guru Maharaj?
Yes. Now, when we have all these requirements, just like if you want to cook in the kitchen, you need all the ingredients. You need all the ingredients. You also need the paraphernalia. What is the paraphernalia? Like you need a blender, you need the stove, you need the gas. So you need all these things. You need water. You need all those things. And then the food stuff, they're all there. They should be there. But if you have all the necessary equipment in the house and you have all the boga available there, that is not sufficient. Now you have to do the cooking physically. So we have the faith, we have the fortune to carry on the instruction. So they have to execute them. They have to chant nicely. We have to do the service nicely. We have to do the service, but the service should be done nicely. Not just do it, but you have to do it in the way that should be accepted. And what should be accepted must be bona fide. All right.
Yes, thank you, Guru Maharaj. So we don't have question on our side, Guru Maharaj. Now we can take question from other devotees.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, we are having one question. Prabhu Pran Hari Prabhu has raised his hand. We are having one question from him.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I'm fortunate that I am another spiritual master. You this actually giving so much of knowledge. I think I'm not capable enough to digest all this, but yes, I'll try to follow the instruction. But Maharaj, my question is basically that number one question is that how sincere and committed we have to be to follow the instruction of our spiritual master.
How important is this for us to take our medicine according to the direction of the doctor? How important is it for us to eat following the rules of hygiene? How important is this for us to be hygienic in our environment, in our activities? They are very important, because without that, we will succeed. You're not going to have a good health if you don't follow the principles of hygiene. You don't follow the direction of the doctor. We're not going to get a good health. We will not get it. Similarly, our faith and sincerity should be spotless. Should be spotless. Not sometimes. It should be always. Because that's a qualification. That's a qualification. You cannot say, okay, sometimes I'll be all right. Like you like you see some people, they do. When we are going to the temple, we want to cover our head, we want to put a different dress, we have to behave well. But when we're not in the temple, we are different. Like Christians, on the Good Friday, okay, not eating meat. Other days, do your meat eating. So what is that? What is that? If something is good, why it should not be done all the time? If it is good, if it is good, we should do it all the time. If it is not good, it's okay, it's not good. And we shouldn't do it at all. If it's not good, we shouldn't do it. If it is good, we should always do it always. So sincerity is necessary to serve the bona fide sadhus. And that should be all the time. It should be always, not sometimes. So, it is a requirement. If I decide, okay, not all the time I should cook nicely, sometimes I can cook anyhow. Okay, sometimes you cook anyhow, then you should know that you are going to have anyhow result. And when we do things nicely, we should know you're going to get a nice result. We should know that. Not that sometimes I know something wrong and expect the good to happen always. It will not happen like that. The things we do is what we are going to get. So it is beneficial that we should always do the right thing. We know very well, that time that our faith is very, very strong. The time that we should always check ourselves to see how practical Krishna consciousness is. The time that our faith is very good, you will notice that is the time our japa is also very good. You will notice that is the time also our session is very good. You will notice that it's also at the same time that we are more happy and fully convinced of Krishna. Check, you see. At the time that we are not, you also see that it is that time that we also have a lot of difficulties, so many unnecessary things. Just check very carefully, you will see. The time we are doing the right thing and the time we don't do the right thing, the result is always there, very, very clear. So it's not necessary for an intelligent person to decide, why should I do? Why should I waste my time? Let me do what is right always and get it right. Is it not? All right.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you. Maharaj, one more question I have is, we get, as the last time we mentioned, that we hear and we about our spiritual master, hear his lecture and all that. So I just want to understand how the difference as a physical association and a virtual association. So what is the difference actually in that?
If the spiritual master is there physically, you should hear physically. You should go to him directly and hear directly, physically. When he's not physically present, then we hear the lecture, the tape, and now we have YouTube, we can Tento, and everything will be flowing. The difference is very, very, very great, very great. You see, if I'm sitting with you directly, my presence will influence you.
Yes.
Not because I'm not talking in this point. At this point, I'm not talking about the spiritual master and the disciple. That is not the point. The point is the physical presence. It's such a dominant presence in whomever we are associating with. You can tell me that, Prabhu, can you help me get things over there, getting things over that place? I will say yes, Prabhu. I will take it there. Do you think when you tell me the same thing on the phone, I will do it immediately? I will do it maybe next day.
True.
So there's no difference?
There's
difference, a great difference.
Yes.
You can call me on the phone and tell me, I will say yes. Yeah, things are very bad now. I'll not be able to come over and do this thing. So transportation, a lot of traffic all over the place now. So to come there, maybe I can do it next week. But if if we are directly present, if you are directly present with me, immediately I don't have strength to say no. Yes, you will do it. So there is difference. But if we establish a connection with sadhu, so when they are not physically present, because the connection is already established, we will still have the flow. And that is why the pure devotee doesn't feel the pain or separation like most of us feel. And even if they feel, that is ecstasy. It is not a dry thing, it is ecstasy. It's enjoyment. In fact, that is what makes the prema very sweet. Hmm? So it's different. All right?
Yeah, thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for your time. Hare Krishna.
Very good.
Thank you, devotees, for Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Thank you for being with us and always supporting us.
Next, we are having Sukadev Prabhu. You can ask a question.
Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my humble greetings. Thank you very much, beloved Gurudev, for the wonderful class. We're very grateful. Gurudev, in the discourse of your class and also during the discourse of the questions and answers that was been going on, again and again, it is very there that one should be able to listen to the spiritual master. Now, the question is, how do one know that one is becoming spiritually mature? Because the essence of having a master servant relationship is that this servant learns from the master and grows to become maybe like the master or better than the master. But how do we know that we've started becoming spiritually mature, that we're now following in the footsteps of the spiritual master? Because in so many instances, in so many cases, we do hear, because I try to look at it from a logical point of view, from a psychological point of view, in so many ways. A lot of time we say like we should remain a child to the spiritual master's mercy. But then how do we know, or how do we become mature if we are to remain like a child, only? I'm just trying to see how to process my thought process, but this is just the question that was going on.
Yes, being a child doesn't mean we are childish. It doesn't mean childishness. Being a child means that Jesus the Christ said the same thing. When some of his disciples asked him, Father, oh Master, what is the qualification for going back to the kingdom of God? When they were asking him this question, there were so many of them, big as the disciples were with him there, were already old, that beard were already flowing on the ground. Jesus looked for a small child and he said, you have to be like the child. So is Jesus telling them to become children, become babies? No. He is saying that we should have the mentality of a child, always depending on the parent. But we shouldn't be childish. If you are childish, you will be babysitting the parent for eternity.
Mm-hmm.
So when will the parent do their duty? Because you're not the only child, they have to get other children to come. So it doesn't mean childishness. It's our mentality should be like child. Always remember that I am dependent on my master. That is childlike mentality. Childlike mentality. Not childishness. Everybody needs. Because when we become more than a child means pride. That's the meaning. Means pride. And that is a great disqualification for anyone to get the mercy of our chariot, or to you to have the mercy to tune into the channel of our chariots. All right?
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you very much. It's very, very clear. Thank you.
We are having one more question from the chat box from Stefan. Hello, Prabhu. So the question is, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Danvat Pranam. Please, what should one do to maintain constant enthusiasm in devotional service?
If we want to maintain the constant enthusiasm, then we should take our sadhana very, very seriously. And we should also have good association. Good association will help us to maintain enthusiasm. Just like if you are a footballer, when associating with the other footballers, we're going to discuss about the football and sport, and you have experience of all other experienced ones who are on it. So our experience is growing, and our enthusiasm also continues to grow. So if we are on our own, we will not have the enthusiasm. So we need association to maintain that enthusiasm. It is then we will do our thing happily, and that will bring the success. All right, Hare Krishna.
Any question? I think we don't have any questions, so we can end here. So thank you, Gurudev, for this wonderful class, and we look forward to see you next Sunday. And we thank all the devotees who have joined us today. Hare Krishna.
Wishing all of you a sweet and successful Kartik, Damodara, as all of us should be blissfully swimming and should be dancing every day. Happy with the costless messages of Damodara and Srila Prabhupada giving us this amrit. Let us continue to drink until you faint. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj, for your blessing, and we wish you the same. And Srila Bhakti Damodara Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Gurudev ki jai.
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 Jai.